want to demo how I can turn Claude AI into a cloud engineer. This diagram is going to show us how we're going to implement that. We're going to leverage Steampipe, which is a open source tool that integrates with your cloud environments and collects all the data about your resources and configurations and stores it in a PostgreSQL database where we can run SQL queries against that. Now we're going to connect Claude with the backend Postgres database through MCP, which is the Model Context Protocol, which is an open source protocol that integrates a lot of third-party and commercial products with your LLM. All right, and we're going to use the locally available Postgres MCP server. Before we do that, I want to show you the interface for Steampipe. This is the web interface, the query table where you can, it has all your resources. So let's just pull up an example here. Let's look at our EC2 instances. Just a quick SQL query. All right, so these are all our resources. All right, so how do we set up the environment? I'm running a Apple MacBook Pro M2. We'll have to install Claude Desktop. Right now it only works on Claude Desktop, not the web version. And most of these MCP server packages are written in TypeScript and JavaScript, so we want to use Node.js, so we'll have to install Node. I'm using Homebrew Package Manager, so I'll just do brew install Node. Go to Claude Settings, the Developers tab. This will list all your MCP servers currently installed. So we'll hit Edit Config, and all the configurations are in the Claude Desktop config.json. All right, so there's only one existing MCP server installed, and that's the File Access MCP, which is allowing Claude to access your local directory, so you can add as many folders here as you like. All right, from here we'll go back to the MCP GitHub for Postgres. Scroll down to npx and copy everything under MCP server. If you're running Docker, you can copy the Docker configs and then just paste it under the local file system. And then to replace this connection string, go back to Steampipe. And in the query window, there's a drop down for info. And the connection string will be there. Just copy that and paste it. And I don't have SSL setup, so we'll just do SSL mode, no verified. We'll save that. You'll have to restart Claude every time you enter a new configuration, so it applied. And if there's no issues with your configuration, there wouldn't be an error that pops up here in the top right. We can also double check our configurations are applied by going to General, Developer, and Postgres should show up. If there was an error, a button for the log directory would show up, and you can troubleshoot through those logs. But everything looks good here. You can also notice that there's a little hammer icon with a number that also lists all the MCP functions that Claude has access to now. So these are file systems, but you can see our Postgres MCP configuration is applied. Let's ask it a question. Let's ask how many open security policies I have in my account. All right, it's just asking for permission. So the good thing about Claude is if it doesn't find the correct data field, it'll try different data fields. So it'll correct itself. All right, so it's found 89 security groups. About 47% of them have open inbound policies. So this is based on Claude's current knowledge of AWS and PostgreSQL. You might not know Steampipe, but we can enhance it by allowing it to read the documentation through Steampipe's website. So Steampipe's documentation has information on how to efficiently run queries, best practices, tools and tips, and their data table values and schemas that might be useful in querying more effectively. So all their documentation is here on their page. It's also in their GitHub. All the documents are in Markdown language. So there's a couple of approaches we can take with this. We can give Claude GitHub functions that it can read and all the contents in a public GitHub, or we can clone this repository to our file system and allow Claude to read from that file system. I'm going to make this a little interesting and give it GitHub access. So we're going to go back to our MCP server repo, go up to GitHub, and then go down to npx, the npx configurations. And as you can see, it has a lot of GitHub functions that it'll allow Claude to do. So we'll copy this to our MCP configurations. We'll need an access token to a personal GitHub repo. It just needs this MCP configuration so it has the capabilities to run the functions. Okay, and then I'll save that. And I'll restart Claude. Get the repo link and ask Claude to read through the documentation. All right, now it's completed reviewing the documentation. It actually reran the query in deeper context, which is neat. All right, let's try another query. Something that we always ask. Let's check S3 buckets if they're publicly accessible. As you can see, Claude is performing its own error handling and troubleshooting as if queries don't work out. So I was able to analyze 22 buckets and found one was publicly accessible. Does other analysis and provides some recommendations, but you can definitely see the value in this and building like very complex agentic AI workflows that a potential cloud engineer or cloud security engineer could do. So that concludes our demo for today. I hope it was informative and excites and encourages you to try out MCP and the integrations within your own workflows. The number of integrations and functionalities within these MCP servers are growing and getting a lot better. There are a couple of open source MCP resources that I found quite useful. One is Glama and the other one is Smithery. So give those a look. And thanks for watching.